Welcome to my OpenStack development final project demonstration. I worked on a journal app and I deployed my API on AWS's Elastic Beanstalk, and I deployed my Angular application in an S3 bucket. I actually ran into quite a lot of issues when it came to deployment. I deployed applications before for my Project 300, for example, but when it came to this, first, all these images that I used in my website, across the website, I had them in a local image folder, in the assets folder, and once I deployed the application, the image source was wrong, and no matter what I tried to point it to, it wouldn't load the images. So I ended up actually hosting all of these images that you see and that you will see across the application in a separate S3 bucket, and set the image tags to point to those images in the S3 bucket, and that rectified my issue. I just thought of it in the middle of the night one time because I couldn't figure it out, and I had just worked so hard to get them all on a theme. So yeah, and now I'm just going to demonstrate something that has been wrecking my head for 2 weeks, and which is why I have been so long not uploading this screencast. So as you can see now, we're on the register page, and I have put in a username, an email, a password. I put it in twice, and I'll press sign up, and the account will be created, and you will be brought to the login page. And how I know the account has been created is that if I reload here and go to my online database, the account will appear. Just give it a second. So there it is there with the email that you've seen and the username that you've seen. Now, if I try and log in with that password and username combo, or email and password combo, I get the message error login failed. Now, if we step into my code, we'll see the only way that that error message is displayed if the user is not found. So it'll do a search in the database by the email, and it'll look for that user. And it's saying, oh, I can't find that user. But I have a middleware function in here to prevent someone from signing in with the same email twice, or signing up with the same email twice. And it's the exact same query, okay? And this, well, like I'll demonstrate it now. This won't let you create an account with that email because the user does exist. But if I do it in the login, it's like the user doesn't exist. And I'm like, what? So as you can see now, we're back on the register create an account page, and I will try and enter the credentials that I already used. So I already created an account with these credentials. Oh no, the username is unavailable. So like it's searching, like it's the same query. I can do it by email as well. If I went back and did it with the email, it would give the same thing. So I don't understand the logic. If it's doing it here and getting it as a user, and it's doing it in the post or the user controller, and it's like, oh, it's not a user. It doesn't make any sense at all. And to top it all off, it works locally. So I'm going to show you it locally. I actually have this little bat file that just opens up everything for me, so I don't need to worry about that. So you can see my application running locally there. There's my Node application running. This error message, I have it saved, and if I go onto this forum, it says that this error is safe to ignore and will be gone in an upcoming release. So it's nothing to do with my code, it's just the way it is. Now I'm just gonna create an account. So just kpayton at gmail.com, and the password's 128. Just sign up, it'll bring you to the login page. Okay, kpayton, put in the password 128 and log in. Perfect, you're brought to the home page. So on this home page, I just have this nav that has dynamically changed now that I've logged in. Did you notice that the login worked locally? Yeah, doesn't work in production. I have no idea why. Anyway, I just have these few little design components just describing the application. A little bit about me. I just made this avatar and styled all this kind of stuff. I just thought it was fun. And then I have a footer down at the bottom with links to my socials. And so we can go to a create a post page, and I can create a post. Well, I know it says you, but I will. So we'll enter a post title, and then we can choose an image from our device. I'll just go to downloads, and you know what? If you try and upload something that isn't an image, it just resets the form and doesn't let you upload, or doesn't let you save the entry. But I'm just gonna upload this image, so my application login won't work. Add the image, and if you'd like, you can get an image from Unsplash, because we had to integrate an external API, so you can search for an image, it returns an image, and this will be added to your journal entry as well. And I'll just give it a quick name. My app won't let me log in. We can save that entry. I actually had to change that title because it was too long. So we'll save that entry, and now we're brought to the all posts page, so all entries. All users can see all other users' posts, or journal entries. So you can see here, I just have some old ones from playing around with it. And there's the post you just created, so just the image that you uploaded, and the image from the external API, and just the post content. I know this isn't a very great example. I'll do up some now. So I've added a few posts now, and you can see how this pagination works. So I'm logged in as admin at the minute, actually. So um, I'm just gonna log in as K Payton. So you can see all the entries. So, oh, we only see two, and that's because we've determined that we only want to see two up here, and it's saying that we can see posts 1 to 2 of 4. So if we change this number, we can change how many posts we would like to see, and you can see that we see more posts, and we can change that to all the way up to 10. And we can put it to 1, and we can navigate between pages. So you see, this is a PlayStation post, that's the end of the page, and we can go over to this policeman post, and we can go all the way over to this running man post. Now, users that have created posts can, sorry, I shouldn't be. Users that have created the posts can edit them or delete them. You see now I'm logged in as Kevin Payton. I don't even get the option to edit or delete it. But if I go to the post that I created as you, I have these options, and I can edit them or delete them. And what's cool about the edit page is that it actually brings you to the same page that you use to create the post. But just with code, it determines that you're in an update mode and an edit mode as opposed to in a create mode. So it passes all these details over. It doesn't pass your image, unfortunately. So you're gonna have to upload an image again, and you can get an image from Unsplash again. We'll just go cat this time. So cat, and just be like, my app won't let me in at all, and save that. And if we go back to our entries now, and I just change the title to 1 to 0, or 1 to 9 and then 0. Change the photo, change this, and try and save it. And if we go to all entries, this will now have changed. Yeah, it doesn't actually let you change that Unsplash image, which is annoying. I didn't actually notice that until now. But anyway, I'll just demonstrate that the buttons. Oh yeah, you can delete your own post as well, obviously. But if I log in with my own account, I can see your posts, or posts that have been created by other people, but I can't delete them. I don't have that option. And we were told to add admin functionality. So what I just did, instead of just having like an admin page or something like that, I gave the admin the opportunity or the ability to delete any posts, even though it wasn't created by them. I just added in some code to allow for that. So just any of these posts at all, can edit them or delete them because we are an admin. The limitation about this is that I have it um checking for that ability to edit or delete based on component loading. So if I refresh, or based on login, I mean, so if I refresh, like, that state is lost. So, but I'm not going to fix that right now, but it's just a little limitation. So yeah, we just have um JWT authentication with admin functionality with a post create, or a journal post creation page where you can write text. You can upload an image from your computer, or you can get an image from an external API, the Unsplash API. Um, you can see posts created by other users. You can see the images associated with those posts. You can edit a post if you created it. You can delete a post if you created it. Um, I spent a lot of time on the front end. It was actually a bit of a waste of time. I should have focused more on functionality, maybe. But the only thing is, it's not that responsive. Like, it's not great. I didn't like the nav bar and the fodder are, and you get this little hamburger, and this just all the icons disappear because it's not big enough, and you get this instead. But yeah, as for responsiveness, it's not great. Like, just the way I wrote the CSS, I just was doing it for a bigger screen. Another thing to mention as well, the the image upload is an integral part of the journal entry, and you can't do that unless you're on a PC or a Windows machine, or so you can't do it on mobile. So I know you said it to be responsive, but well, anyway, mine isn't. So we'll just go through run through of the code. So we just have our authentication modules. We have an error component that displayed that error that you seen when I was demonstrating the login stuff with the API, or with the deployment at the start. So our auth module, and we have that all organized into a module. Then we just have some design modules like footer, header, home, and then we have our post module, um, and these are all organized into a module as well. Um, I just learned about modularization this, I don't know if that's a word, but breaking things into modules this semester, just to make things more manageable instead of having everything on the app module.ts. So yeah, just breaking them up into modules. Um, what else? Yeah, so for the image upload, I had to use this MIME type validator to validate the MIME type of the file. I didn't write this all myself. I took it from Stack Overflow. I just implemented it then. So yeah, this is how we get from the external API. So we just, yeah, it's literally just grabbing a URL, and then you just display it like that. Nothing too difficult. Yeah, just I used a lot of Angular directives like ngIf to show and hide stuff. So I just make booleans for stuff, and then can hide or show them depending on the state of the boolean. So if something's clicked, or if someone's in a certain role, the directive will pick that up. And I know you were on the exam boards for the Project 300, and I know that I did authentication with JWT for that. But I don't know if you have access to the code, but if you look at the code for that, I used asynchronous programming for the um authentication, and for this, I actually wrote a new way of doing it, and I just did it the normal way, middleware functions, broke it up into controllers, and I just run it through this validate middleware before I create the user for registration. So I just didn't want you to think that I ripped my authentication from Project 300 because it's actually completely different. Um, like there's similarities, but like this is broken up into little exported functions and broken into separate files, whereas the other one was just like one huge file, one huge block of code with asynchronous calls. And I just wanted to learn more about writing Node.js code. And I know you had a bit of a focus on Firebase this semester. Um, but I didn't want to get locked into Firebase auth, um, because with this you can easily just change database. Like I know I'm using Mongo, but it's so easy. Like your user defined fields aren't going to change that much, so I can easily swap in and out databases with this. Whereas with Firebase, you're locking yourself in to use their NoSQL database then. And what if I have to work in a project I need to use a SQL database for? It's just not. I don't know. And like we worked with Firebase last year, and like it's fine. And but like the serverless functions are really slow. Like even like my friends showed me their projects, and their spin up times are like they're really slow compared to Express. Like I know my Express isn't hosted properly, so I can't show you, but it's much faster. And if I was going to get into serverless functions, I'd probably get into Lambda. Um, and I know that I use AWS infrastructure, and that was just to demonstrate that I could. I if I was doing like a little pet project, I would use Netlify for the front end, and I would use Heroku for the API. But I just thought it would look better using S3. Um, I don't think there's much else that I can show you, but yeah, thank you.